season off, at least as far as their consistency is concerned. What's your thoughts on this Rangers matchup?
Andrew, full disclosure, I don't like the card today. I can't come up with one single play for my clients at all. Nothing. I need to put a free pickup. We have a rule at WagerTalk. If you have a 5% play, you have to have a free pick that goes up as well. I have my first NBA 5% play of the year. We'll talk about it later. I can't even come up with a free pick. I hate everything. Now, with that said, we have to come up with bets here, and I'm going to look at the under in this game. Man, I get it. Buffalo let up 7 goals last game against New Jersey, but here's a situation, and the Rangers scored 7. Here's a situation where both teams are stone cold unders to the year. 7-13 for Buffalo to the under, 8-11 for the New York Rangers to the under. And that's their identities. I really expected Buffalo to be an over team this year. They haven't been, but I always anticipated the Rangers playing to the under all year, and they really have. I'm looking at this game and I'm thinking, where do I find a bet? I think it's going to be 3-2, and then you hold your breath on an empty netter. I don't have much to say on this game. My apologies, but I do like the under.
All right, looking towards the under here. And that's the thing about this New York Rangers team is really what's been so great about them and the success they've had this season. It has not been just their offense, right? It's kind of carried their way through this success they've had in all these wins. Not one, but 2 great goaltenders, right? It's not just Igor Shesterkin. They've got a great backup goaltender. And I think that Shesterkin, a big problem with him was that over the last few years, guys, he was playing way too many games. And I think that you're seeing all the successful teams in the NHL right now. Boston's the best example with that 1A, 1B situation with Allmark and Swayman. It's good to have 2 goaltenders. And I think that with that rest has definitely helped their goaltending. So when you look at Shesterkin, you look at his numbers right now, 2.45 goals against average, 9.16 save percentage. Devin Levi is kind of the one that I really worry about. 3.73 goals against average. He's not playing very well, but at the same time, there's been some matchups that have just not been great for him. And I think that this is, again, a matchup that the Buffalo Sabres are going to give up way too many shots. They were supposed to be one of the teams that was the fastest growing team in the Atlantic Division as far as that bottom tier.
Fastest growing team?
Yeah. Like how much they were.
That's the greatest line ever, and I can just see they started the year at 5'7".
Yeah,
end the year at 5'11".
They were supposed to grow. They were supposed to get better and improve, but they have not at all.
Muscles grew. Best line ever.
Prez, are you describing? Are you describing middle school for you? You were just really hoping to just grow as fast as you can.
I've never heard. I do these shows every day of my life. I never heard that saying before. Guys,
they're supposed to improve.
Buffalo Bills, they're a growing team. They're going to grow this week.
Okay. I'm sorry. Improve.
Their hands in the air. No,
I'm changing my word. Improve. Okay. They're supposed to improve the most. They're supposed to improve a lot. And they have not improved nearly as much as I thought they were going to. So I like over 3.5 team total for the New York Rangers. So, Prez could win his bet. I could win mine. But when it comes down to it, I just think this Rangers team has not really had many letdown spots here, Andy. I think this Rangers offense is going to be too much for the Sabres to handle. What are your thoughts? What have you found here?
Well, a game like this is right in my wheelhouse because, if you guys follow me, you guys know I love parlays. I know Prez hates them. So we need to get the shirt up in the merch store, please, Prez. It says it's not it's not that you parlay, it's what you parlay. So if I look at this game, and I think most people would say, well, that's priced out of the range. What is it, minus 225? But this is a Rangers team that's won 7 out of 8. Sabres 2-5 in their last 7. One of those losses in OT. So I'm looking at the Rangers and I say, yeah, I think the Rangers are going to win this, but I don't want to pay minus 225. So what do I want to put with it? So I immediately start looking at, and this you could even do a cross sport parlay. I like the Vikings on an alt line to score over 17.5 on their team total tonight, you could put it there and get it minus 103. There's a few other team totals that I like for tonight in NHL that I could put it with, but I went ahead and looked at the same game parlay, and I found something, Andrew, that I can make for a minus 105. And we agree the Rangers will play a good defense. I think the Sabres are going to struggle to score tonight. So let's take a look at the Rangers money line and the Rangers to score first. This Rangers team has scored first in 12 out of their last 13 games. They do a great job of just getting on the board first and making the other team try and come from behind. So if I like the Rangers to win this game and we think it's going to go under, I don't think the Sabres are going to be doing a whole lot to help the over. I love the momentum that the Rangers have coming in here. I love that they get on the board first. So yeah, for this game, let's do a same game parlay. Rangers on the money line and Rangers to score first at a great price at minus 105.
That's awesome. I'm surprised that price makes it that much better, Andy, with them to score first, especially with their track record. Prez,
Andy,
your hand is up.
Yes. If you could just write that up and put it in Slack, please, for me. I'd like to use it as my free pick. That was beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just give it to Prez. Give it to Prez.
I'll tell you, Andy, I've known you for a long time, dude, and you're growing.
You're growing. I think
it's cold
Andy
here.
has...
I thought I was shrinking.
No, you're growing,
Jesus
dude.
Christ.
You're growing. Andrew, Greg Hags writes,
I'm not the first person to ever say that, for the record.
He writes,
I'm definitely not the first person.
For Ontario, stick to the Scotian way. So is that a Scotian thing?
I've heard so many sports analysts say that. A growing team. They're growing.
You have not.
Yes, I have.
That's okay.
That's definitely a saying.
Look,
a growing
look
team,
look
improving
how young
team.
and handsome Andy looks with his haircut.
He's growing on me with that haircut. I'll tell you that. I want to ask you though, Andy, I want to follow up about that because I didn't know you were going to mention that. And I'm curious because I'm always shocked when you tell me about the odds getting boosted there. How does it improving the odds that many? I guess it's the first goal and it could vary. I mean, you could see a bad team score the first goal and they lose 4-1, but have you done that before? Is that a new thing for you looking at these with your same game parlays? Because with a team to score first and win, I really thought because the Rangers are favored in the game that it really wouldn't help out the odds that much.
Yeah, this isn't something that this isn't something that happens to every single team. This is just kind of one of those outliers. But if you find these outliers, then you take advantage of them. And Andrew, what do we talk about? Low volume, and I only need one play a day to turn a profit in NHL. I've never had more than one play so far this season, and we're 14-8. So you don't need to find a ton of these, but you only need to find one of these. And this trend of the Rangers putting up a goal first is something that we can take advantage of. Unfortunately, you normally have to do it with the same game parlay, but with a team that's this hot and a team that always seems to score first, like I haven't looked up all the teams, but I would be stunned if any other team is on that kind of streak with scoring first. Like this is probably the outlier, but if you search enough and you can find these trends, you can take advantage of them. And that's how you go on, really nice runs. That's how you go on an 8-2 run. That's how you go on a 9-1 run. So just takes a little searching, but yeah, I'd like to ride this prop for a while.
Great stuff. Yeah, I'll definitely be looking at that myself. Guys, it's a big day at WagerTalk.com today. We've got a massive, massive special going on. It works for Prez. It works for Andy. Works for myself. 90-day all access. There are so many sports going on right now. Not just hockey, not just basketball, not just football. There's so much action. And a lot of us don't just do one sport. We do multiple. For $47 a week, you can take care of a great, great deal. It comes out to $597. But when you break it down into 3-day passes, into 7-day passes, you're getting a great deal. I believe a week pass is $99. Is that correct, guys? Or is that more than that? Either way, $47 per week with this deal. It's only a limited time only. So take advantage of it today. Grab one of your favorite handicappers. And if you want to get involved with someone that's doing not just one sport, but multiple, you can take advantage of this great special. So join us over at WagerTalk.com. And let's jump into our next game here. We've got Tampa Bay Lightning and the Colorado Avalanche going head-to-head. Vasilevsky is back in action for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And, man, what a start it was for him in his first start back in action for the Lightning as they put up 8 goals, making things easy on their goaltender, putting up 8 goals for him in his return to action. Close game here as well as far as the odds are concerned, and we have the total at 6.5. Andy, what are your thoughts on this matchup?
Well, yeah, you mentioned the Lightning. 25 goals in the last 5 games, but they've also given up 15 in those 5 games. So the Avalanche, they've scored 3 or more goals in 7 straight. So I got to look at something with Colorado here. But I think there's a couple of props that have my attention. And even though this is a game, I think I might lean towards the over on. I don't like the lines on some of these. Like Kucherov, they have his point total not at 0.5 point, but at 1.5. And I get it, but you're getting a very fair price on this one. He had 6 points last game, so that's going to be what everyone looks at. But before that, he went under in 5 out of 6. And the game he went over against Edmonton. They're not exactly a defensive juggernaut. So I like the under 1.5 points on Kucherov in this game. And then the other one that jumps out to me is Mikko Rantanen under 3.5 shots on goal. He's gone under 2.5 shots on goal in 6 out of 7 and 4 straight. So I'm not sure where there's 3.5 shots on goal, comes. I don't know where this number come from. I would fully expected it to be 2.5, but they added that extra shot. So the value is definitely on the under. So if I'm looking at props in this one, it's definitely Kucherov under 1.5 points and Rantanen under 3.5 shots on goal.
Love it. Looking at the unders in the prop betting market, people always forget about the unders. Love to bet overs, but even in games like this with teams like Tampa and Colorado, you can definitely take some unders with these superstars. Prez, Vasilevsky's back. Are you buying on this Tampa Bay team right now or riding with a Colorado team that's playing pretty good hockey?
Well, listen, I think Tampa Bay is about to grow. Flat out. There's growing in Tampa Bay. Yeah. And Andrew, I like the over in this game. Again, full disclosure, I don't like anything. And we had a guy in the chat room right. Prez, you always don't like everything. That's not true. I come on here with definitive opinions all the time. But I am not going to make stuff up just because we have a show and people are watching. This is people bet their hard-earned money on these games. And I'm going to tell you guys flat out, I don't like anything. If I had to bet this game, I would take the over. Tampa Bay just put up 8, 2, 5, 6, 4. This Tampa Bay team has shown that it can score. And what I've noticed watching them, Andrew, is they're growing in the wrong direction. They're shrinking, if you will, especially on defense. This team is not playing well defensively. There's so much firepower in this game, Andrew. Between Colorado and Tampa Bay, I look at I think to myself, okay, I'm not going to bet it, but I do lean on the over. Real quick, Andrew, because Melissa just M2 just texted me. I told you guys all at the beginning of the show I have a 5% play in the NBA. It is my first 5% basketball play of the season. To give you guys perspective on what's going on in my basketball, I'm on a 9-1 basketball run. This play is a first half bet. I'm on a 10-2 and 16-4 run in those. And I am literally 32-12 in 2 years. Melissa sent me a promo. So I already noticed a few people bought the play. I want to give the promo out ASAP so that people don't buy the play and they get mad they didn't get the promo. So $10 off the play. Use the promo code GROWING. No, I'm kidding. Use the promo code NBA10. NBA10. You get $10 off my 5% NBA play. I am psyched to do this tomorrow again, Andrew.
It's almost like we should have had you on the NBA tip-off show today, Prez. No opinions on hockey, big opinions on basketball today. The NBA tip-off show would have been great. Would have been a perfect show for you today. That would have been the place for you.
it's not like I knew that I wouldn't like anything today, right? I mean, I do my research,
That's
I do
true.
my work.
I
I mean,
know.
it happens, it happens.
You're being honest. You're being honest, and like I do this show every day. It's not like I have awesome opinions every day either on them, and like I don't
You and
really have
Andrew,
best bets.
you
Yeah,
and
we do it every
Andy
day.
study, you and Andy study props. I don't. I mean, it just the prop market gives you a lot more room to find
Yes,
bets,
yes.
and
I'm just
I'd
messing
say
with
I
you,
don't
man.
have the time, but I do. I'm just lazy.
and that's why you secretly don't mind having the mustache, because it's an excuse not to shave, right?
No,
And it's for a good cause. It's for a good.
No, I got to get rid of this thing, dude. This mustache is insane.
So when it comes to this game, for me, I look at I've been looking at analytics more than I ever have in NHL, and I think I'm always going to be a situational guy as far as my NHL handicapping. But Andy mentioned some under with the player props there with Kucherov under his 1.5, and this is the thing. I think Tampa Bay is actually kind of overachieving offensively. And I know that sounds crazy because you don't want to catch a falling knife. You don't want to get in front of a hot team that just scored 8 goals, and they scored 6 against Edmonton, 5 against Boston, 8 against Carolina. But the fact of the matter is, they're doing all of this on like 24, 25 shots per game. They had only like 24, 25 shots against Carolina, and they scored 8 goals. Colorado does not get enough respect as far as their defensive game. All their forwards back check. They have a great bottom 6. They know that they have the top 6 that can put up all the goals with Rantanen and McKinnon and Drouin and Nichushkin. They don't have to worry about playing defense when they have the bottom 6 that can play all the defense, take the defensive zone faceoffs. And Makar and Devon Toews and these guys are so strong offensively as defensemen that, again, nobody gives them the credit they deserve on the defensive side of things. Looking at this Colorado team, 3-1 win against Calgary, 3-2 win against Minnesota, 5-2 win against Vancouver. In a lot of the games they're successful, they're shutting teams down as well. They're not just getting involved in these track meet games. So I do like this Colorado team. I don't love the price too much. I actually might look towards the -1 line. I think this is a perfect game to split your bet on the puck line and the money line. But second game back for Vasilevsky. The team put up 8 goals for him in his first game. I think this is going to be a huge test for him against a Colorado team that's very, very tough. And honestly, when you look at a team like Tampa Bay, they were comfortable enough to bring Vasilevsky, who's won Stanley Cups and had success, but it's tough to bring him back against 2 of the best teams in the league. So I feel like tonight's a wake-up call here, guys, for Tampa Bay. And after that big win over Carolina, I think Colorado continues to roll. And one thing that I've told myself I want to start doing more in the NHL is riding streaks. We talk about it on Prop It Up. We talked about it earlier on the show about certain bets you want to look at, and you keep looking at it week after week after week. Well, when I'm looking at certain teams like the LA Kings or the Avalanche, when they're playing good hockey, you got to just keep going with them. Don't bet them once and then go away from them for 3 or 4 days. So I'm looking at this Avalanche team to get the job done. Andy, going to go to you for your thoughts on the Vegas Golden Knights and the Calgary Flames, a Flames team that was struggling big time to start the year off, but now all of a sudden this Vegas Golden Knights team find themselves in a little bit of a slump. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, no kidding. The Knights are I don't want to say they're reeling, but this is a strange part of the schedule for them. I mean, just look at these games. So on Tuesday the 14th, they're at Washington, then at Montreal, at Philly, at Pittsburgh, at Dallas. Then they come home for a random game against Arizona, and then they're back on the road at Calgary, at Edmonton, at Vancouver. It's a very tough spot for them. And yeah, we've seen them, really struggling. They started off, they won their first 4 road games of the season, but they're 2-4 since then. They did score 6 goals at Montreal on the road, but at Dallas, at Pittsburgh, at Philly, and at Anaheim, only 7 goals total in those games. So they're just not scoring a lot of goals. And because of that, I think we can take advantage. I don't want to ride their unders, forever, but I do think this is, just because of their schedule, is a really nice spot to keep fading them. So I'm looking at Pietrangelo to not have a point. Little juicy, -135, but he has no points in the last 6 games. after he had 9 points in the first 10 games of the season. And I went back and looked, and he did this last year. He would go on these big long streaks of having a point in 9 out of 10, and then he'd go 8 out of 10 without having a point. He had a streak in the playoffs, 7 in a row without a point. So I think maybe we can get a game or two out of Pietrangelo not to have a point, but I don't want to ride this streak forever because just looking at the trends with him, he'll go 6, 7, 8 games, but he doesn't go 9 or 10 games in a row without a point. But for tonight, yeah, I'd take him. This team's really struggling to score points, so I'll take him to not have a point. And then Kadri, I'm taking under 3.5 shots on goal. 5 games in a row, under 3.5. Vegas, they've been struggling, but they're still 12th best allowing shots on goal. He's gone under this total in 15 out of 21 games. So I do like Pietrangelo to not have a point. I think that's my favorite prop in this one.
And that's actually I think that's a good price for a defenseman on a team that's struggling to score goals right now to not have a point. Pietrangelo, of course, from the Vegas Golden Knights, not to have a point. Good prop there. And if you guys aren't betting these not to have a point props, you got to make sure your book allows it, because most people will bet the to have a point or over shots on goal. But don't forget about just simply saying this guy's going to have an off night, and Andy's done a great job with his clients of isolating when a player will not play well. Prez, I believe you have a total for us in this game, Vegas and Calgary. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so, this is the game that I would have. This was my favorite play on the card. It wasn't good enough to release to my clients, but it was close, and that is the under in this game. And really, Andrew, the handicap here is simple. When I look at teams that are at the top of the standings, or, really good teams, they might have started bad, so they're not at the top, but they're really good teams, Vegas Golden Knight being one of them. And they go and they lose. Vegas Golden Knight has lost 3 of their last 4 games. When these teams are trying to get back to winning, they have to revert back to their identity. And Vegas's identity is to play to the under. It's to bottle up teams that they're playing against, to back check and forecheck like crazy, to use their speed in more of a defensive manner than an offensive manner. And that's where we're going. We're going to play the under in this game. This is the closest play I have to a bet in the card tonight. And if you go back and look, take a look at what Vegas does coming off of a loss. They tend to play to the under more than the over. So this is just a straight handicap on the better team needs to get back into form, and they will play to their identity tonight.
I agree. I agree with exactly what you said there, except for I'm going to just isolate Calgary, because I am worried that Calgary could be a team Vegas snaps out of it again. So I'm going to take Calgary team total under 2.5 goals at plus 115. If there's a team out of these two, and I know, Prez, you'd probably agree with me on this as well, that would probably push this over the total, it would be Vegas. So let's just take them out of the picture and take Calgary's team total under the 2.5, and you get a plus price on that. Calgary's been up and down. They've kind of gotten their act together a little bit recently, but I feel you get a very focused Vegas Golden Knights team. They've done very well against teams with losing records. And as you mentioned, they've done well defensively off losses. And they aren't just off a loss. They're off a loss against a pretty bad team in the Coyotes. So I expect a very focused team here, and I think they shut down Calgary. So I don't want to worry about any offensive explosion coming out of Vegas. I'll just worry about Calgary going under on their team total. And once again, guys, just want to remind you, it is Monday. We are not doing the Monday deals anymore. We're going to have all kinds of specials going on over at WagerTalk every few weeks. And $47 a week is what you'll pay if you join us on our 90-day specials. And between the three of us, we handicap a ton of sports. And as Prez mentioned, we're doing props. We're doing team totals. Prez, it does WagerTalk today is here with us on PuckTime, but also has a 5% play up in the NBA. So between all of us with Andy's UFC and we've got so many different sports that you can handicap, don't just buy one sport. It's better to get involved with the all sports package. So $47 a week. You can join us for a 90-day pass. Let's jump into best bets, guys, and wrap up this show. Andy, I'll go to you for what you have up for clients tonight and moving on in the week, and what your best bet is for the show.
Yeah, I have an NHL play that is up 14-8 this year. We do not put up a play every day in NHL. Very, very selective. So hitting at that 63-64% mark, which would be amazing if we could keep that up. So I do love the play today. I just encourage everyone to go get that 90-day pass. No matter what day you got the 7-day pass for me last week, you were profitable. So if you got it last week, we went 14-6. So we smoked the 7 days, and if you want 90 days, it's a fantastic price. It ends at midnight, so grab that. You get all sports, you get all percentages, so take advantage of that. Right now, just the NHL play up today on a nice little 6-1 NFL run as well, so we're seeing that sport well. My best bet for today, I was saying in the chat, I feel bad. I think every prop I've done today is an under. Like I'm like rooting for guys to absolutely suck tonight. And so I'll take another one. Why not? Let's go with Sam Bennett under his points. I'm just going to take him to not have a point. He's kind of the gift that keeps on giving here. I'm still not convinced that he's totally 100% healthy. He missed a little bit of time. He came back, and it's just not been a good stretch for him. He has 1 point this season. That was against Edmonton. Again, Andrew, talking about the terrible trio. It's the San Jose Sharks, the Edmonton Oilers, the Minnesota Wild. They just give up so many goals that you can get points against them. And he's played under 18 minutes in 6 out of his 8 games. And Florida, they've scored 1 goal in the last 2 games. So they're hitting a little bit of a funk here. So I just don't think Sam Bennett's the guy to put up points tonight when the team as a whole is struggling. So we're still under minus 150 on this price. If he goes under 1 or 2 more games, you're going to see this skyrocket up to like minus 175 or minus 180. So I'm going to keep riding Sam Bennett to not have a point.
Great stuff, Andy. And that's the thing. There's 21 players out there, asking one guy to not get a point at a great price like that for a team not playing well is a great bet. And guys, don't miss Andy's best bet up in hockey today. He's low volume with hockey, but doing very well to start off the season. So, Andy, we appreciate you being here with us today. And Prez, you've got your 5% NBA play. No NHL so far. I'm sure you'll have some going on tomorrow, but anything else going on for you at WagerTalk, and what's your best bet?
Yeah, so my best bet right off the bat is the Vegas Calgary game under 6. I'm passing in hockey tonight for my clients. As I said, I have my first 5% oops play of the year up today. It's in NBA. I'm on a 9-1 hoops run. I'm up big profit in NBA this year. I was up 95 units of profit last year. And I am 32-12 in first half NBA bets and in 2 years. And my 5% is a first half bet. Use the promo code NBA10 to get $10 off. Please take advantage of that. And it does come with a bonus college basketball play. And I am rolling in college basketball too. What an awesome show. I had so much fun. I do want to say one thing, Andrew. There are 263 people watching live, and 20% of those people took a second of their time to hit the like button. That means 80% didn't. Come on, guys, start growing. Start growing, man.
Let's grow these numbers. Let's grow these numbers. Prez, I'll see you in about an hour's time. I'll see you in an hour. I have an under prop play for tonight's football game, so won't have to worry about hearing it from Teddy that I only give out overs and all the audience. I got an under today for the NFL prop market. But for me, guys, you got 4% best bet up in the NHL. That'll be my only play today. So we're going to rock with just one play in the NHL. I have one prop play that I potentially will be adding to my package there for clients. Other than that, we are already looking at tomorrow for the card. So don't forget to grab just that one play and also that great special, $47 a week, 90-day pass. I'm handicapping basketball, football, and hockey right now. So lots of plays going out every single week, and you can get a great discount code right now with that special. My play is actually going to be Charlie Coyle from the Boston Bruins to record a point. So this time I want a guy to have a good night, and he's got a point in 5 straight games. Number's only minus 125 on this prop. The Bruins are having a phenomenal start to their season, just like last year. And you look at their roster and you ask yourself, how are they actually having such a great season with this roster? I mean, it's not that many huge names, but these guys all just buy into the system. They have great chemistry with each other, and Charlie Coyle has been a huge part of the success. So for a guy to get a point at minus 125, that has a point in his last 5 straight games, I think is a really good bet to make. So Charlie Coyle from the Boston Bruins to record a point. My best bet here for today. We got Sam Bennett to not have a point, and we've got the under in the Flames and Knights game. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Thanks for being here with us on a Monday. Don't forget to like the video on the way out. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel right here on WagerTalk TV. We'll see you tomorrow for a brand new edition of Puck Time.